Ladies and gentlemen, update 53 is finally here. This was the update of nerfs. Pretty much all of the balance changes were nerfs, besides the changes to the beast handler, and in specific the Gigantosaurus, which first off got an increased stomp mob stun duration, but the more interesting change in my opinion is the Gigantosaurus damage now carries through moab layers. And what this means is the Gigantosaurus now has the possibility of one-shotting ZOMGs. Yes, you heard that correctly. So it's absolutely insane. And today I'm going to showcase this upgrade in a Chimps run. Also, if you've been enjoying the YouTube content, go to the shop real quick, click creator support in the bottom left-hand corner, and use creator code MAHALICPOPS. It's an easy way to support the channel. Here we go, gents. We are on the map Enchanted Glade for this Gigantosaurus showcase. Now, what do I want to start with? Because I doubt we'll start with beast handlers. That'd be the ideal thing to start with, obviously. These guys kind of suck in the first couple rounds, though. Let's see. Yeah, it's not going to defend. In that case, let's start with an engineer. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to play on this map is because I think this map's going to be really good for the Gigantosaurus due to the amount of bins in this section of the map. The T-Rex should be able to maximize its pierce very well here, is my thoughts. But either way, off the start, my first plan is pretty simple. I just want to get my hero down, which is Etienne. I would be able to afford to this round. I might die before I can get Etienne down. Yeah, it looks to be the case. How about we get one Microraptor then? And with this duo, we do beat round 8, I'm thinking. Yep, Etienne's going to be afforded on round 10. Ideally, before this big group of blues come at the end of the round. Etienne will go in this location. Nice. Good start. Well, actually, wait. My Etienne spot's not very centered. It probably would be better just to place it like right behind my engineer. Let me redo that round real quick. Thanks to the time machine mod. That's gotta be my favorite mod out there, guys. I mean, I use it all the time in my videos. It's just a great quality of life mod. I highly recommend if you are using mods to use the time machine mod one. Now, why did I bring Etienne? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The main one, as many of you guys could probably guess, is that Etienne gives camo detection at level 8, and the Gigantosaurus does not have camo, so it's gonna save me a bit of money that I would be spending on like a camo village. Another reason is Etienne's pretty solid with the drones early game. It's going to give me a little bit of extra greed so I can hopefully go for a discount village super early. And then the last reason is the range increase Etienne gives me, which is 20% at level 16. And I did some testing beforehand with that range difference. If you have a Gigantosaurus like locked in place at the middle of the map with the range bonuses and everything, it can pretty much hit the entire center. But round 15, we need to lock in here. Let's use Drone Swarm a little bit earlier. That should be able to defend everything. As for the village location, though, I'm thinking somewhere around here is where I'm gonna have my discount village. And Etienne also range buffs my village, which is nice as well. Can fit more things in that range. All right, we've saved up 2,600. Is this enough for a village? It is. The only problem is I'm not gonna have anything else after buying it, and I'm dead here. In that case, what if we got only one discount upgrade? We're gonna lose an additional 5% discount. That's fine. And I wanted to see if I can add a Saurus up before I die. Move it here. Come on, got it. I just barely died beforehand though. I wonder if I can make that work. All right, I'm gonna try a different Allosaurus spot, like here. And what I could possibly do as well is move it backwards slightly. Yes. And then we can move it to here, please. Okay, we finally defended. Beating round 20 took me a while, but I'm happy we beat it. Just required some OP micro from Micro Mahalik. And I'm dead round 22. Okay, let's add a glue gunner with bigger globs on it. That should help out quite a bit. Let's see. Yes. All right, there we go. Slowly but surely making this work. And now I've got the drone swarm off cooldown as well, which is nice in case I need it. And also, one thing I forgot to talk about in my previous video covering this update is look at this. If you click this icon next to towers, there's more statistics now. You can see the overall damage, pops, rounds placed, current value, cash spent, cash earned, and lives gained. Now, I'm not exactly sure why the pop says 0. I thought the pops were like what's showing above the tower, but that's what's being shown in the damage category. But the other statistics are pretty cool. Lots of them are 0 at the moment because this is not like a banana farm or something that earns you lives. I don't know. I'm always a fan of more additions into the game like that. As for my guess between what pops versus damage means, I think pops is how many individual balloons you beat with a tower. Like one spaced yellow balloon would count as 1 pop, but damaging it down entirely would count as 4 damage. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it means, but even if that was the case, I'm not sure why the pops is 0. So it's not super intuitive unless it's glitched, which there's a chance it's glitched as well. I do hope they continue to add on to this info panel though. Like if you could see tower statistics That would be cool. Such as stuff like the damage of the tower you're selecting, the attack speed, the projectiles, all of that. Because if someone who's new to the game wants to figure out how their tower is actually dealing damage, they need to look on Bloons wikis, which isn't necessarily super optimal if you have someone Googling everything all the time. You know what I'm saying? Either way, we've got a max power Adasaurus now, and I'm thinking with the max power Ada, these rounds are going to start to become a little bit easier for us. As for my next move on this chessboard, we're going to buy bigger radius on the village, and then let's also get jungle drums on you. Let's get some more beast handlers down. Another one in this location for a second Adasaurus. And here's round 36. This round's always difficult. I'm hoping 18 can solve these camo waves. Yeah. And the Adasauruses are more than enough for the pinks. As I was saying, this map's pretty good for the middle path beast. Normally in other maps, you have to like micro it a ton every single round, and it can get pretty tedious. But this map, just have it locked in place in the center of the map, and you're golden. Either way, round 37, use a drone swarm, just in time. Now let's finally get beast number 4 in here, and that's going to be the final beast I place for a while, because we need 4 T-Rexes to build the Gigantosaurus. So how about we just get this guy to a Velociraptor right now, and we'll merge everything into it. What power is that? 17. Now we've got it at 22 out of 24, and 24 out of 24. Let's see if that's enough to deal with this Moab. Having 18 help out too. I don't know if its range is actually big enough. Okay, it is big enough. I wasn't sure if it would be able to clip the ceramics leaving, which that's actually something that might be possible thanks to Etienne giving the 10% extra range bonus. So yeah, I knew Etienne would be a great pairing here. Etienne's honestly one of my favorite heroes to bring in Chimps mode, as it's a pretty hands-off hero. It's not like Corvus where you need to be using every which way all the time. But on top of that, it helps your defenses quite a bit. You don't have to spend money on camo, the extra range, the drone swarm ability can be pretty good for some of the tough rounds, and we'll definitely be utilizing the UCAV later as well. Either way, I think we're just gonna save for T-Rex next. And remember, we need 4 of these guys. That is so expensive once again. If I don't spend money on anything else besides my beast handlers, when will I actually afford the Gigantosaurus? Let me just throw a guess out there. You know, they call me guessing Mahalik for a reason. My current prediction would be round 87, I think, is the timing, if I don't spend any more money on other towers besides beasts. And I'm hoping that guess is true, because if we start to get into like the 90s before I can afford the Gigantosaurus, things will get a little bit tough. Also, wait a second, round 50. The Velociraptor was better against the Moabs than the T-Rex, which is interesting. We need to stomp those though. Either way, as I was saying, if we get into the 90s before I can afford the Gigantosaurus, it'll start to get difficult because the T-Rex is not great against ETs. But yeah, a 40 out of 64 power T-Rex is not that strong. Thankfully, I can afford another T-Rex now. It's going to give me 8 more power. And I've also got the UCAV ability available too. Let's see how I look against the Moabs now. Yeah, Moabs are no longer a problem. And the other cool part about the T-Rex is once you get max power on this guy, it's similar to like a Gigantosaurus where it can layer skip. Like if it chomps a Moab, it could technically eat all of the ceramics alongside of the final Moab chomp if the damage lines up how you want it to. You'll see what I'm talking about here soon. There's T-Rex number 3. We're now at 56 out of 64. Either way, a lot of these rounds at this point are probably going to be pretty easy for my setup, so I wanted to use this as an opportunity to talk about the rest of the update, a little bit at least, and in specific, the balancing, because this update was used a lot as a way to counter power creep in the game, as if you look at the update changes, it is mainly nerfs to everything. Some of the most notable towers getting nerfed, from my memory, is the Ice Tower, Mermonkey, and Desperado. They nerfed the heck out of the Avengers, which I personally think was a good idea because Avengers were stupid broken. They like made the price $3,000 more expensive and lowered the knockback that they give to Moabs. But then on top of that, they actually gave an interesting rework to the Avengers as well, where other Avengers don't reduce the Wanderer stacks, which is a pretty cool change. But either way, those were like the main Desperado nerfs. And then the Mermonkey got nerfed a ton too, where the EchoSense networks I don't think increased range as much as they used to. And Lord of the Abyss, Poseidon both got nerfs as well. Then lastly, the Ice Monkey got absolutely killed. I think Super Riddle got some big damage nerfs. The Absolute Zero got a price nerf. And the Ice Paragon also got absolutely nuked, where beforehand it gave a plus 10 damage debuff that could stack with Embrittlement and Super Riddle, but now it's a plus 8 damage debuff instead of plus 10, and it does not stack with the other Embrittlements. So you went from a total debuff possibility of plus 15 with all the Ice Monkeys combined to plus 8, which is a huge step down. So it does kind of suck to see some of your favorite towers getting nerfed like this, but overall I do think it's good for the game because If you just continue buffing everything, the game's gonna become way too easy, and it won't be as fun. And honestly, power creep was getting to that point a little bit. Those are just my general thoughts, though. You guys know I've talked about power creep in my previous videos as well. Either way, we do have... Oh wait, we still don't have the max power T-Rex. I've been forgetting to get the final one. Let's get it up. Now we've got the max power T-Rex. 64 out of 64. And he is actually struggling a little bit against random balloons. But let's see if the layer damage carryover is working how I thought. Yeah. You can see what I'm talking about. No ceramic spawn from those mobs. It's going to be really cool to see that with the Gigantosaurus against like BFBs and stuff. We're just going to be chomping BFBs to bits. And as for the glue gunner that I bought early, not really sure what I want to do with this guy yet. Probably build into like a mob glue or something later. But as I said, if we could just afford the Gigantosaurus before buying anything else, that would be the ideal way to play it. Round 75, one of the hardest rounds in Chimps, is no issue at all for this guy. It's just so satisfying seeing him chomp the mobs with no ceramic spawning. Round 76, easy as well. These BFBs, bye-bye. How about the round 78's wave of ceramics? Still no issue. It's almost better for the T-Rex that I don't really have very many other towers dealing damage, because if I had a lot of other towers popping ceramics down into like rainbows, pink balloons, all of that, the T-Rex would perform worse, because those lower layer balloons are faster and would eat up the pierce more, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like when you're using the T-Rex, at least in the mid-game rounds, you want him to be the only thing dealing significant damage, which will maximize its potential. Either way, we just hit level 16 Etienne, which is great. We get 20% more range on everything. And we're about halfway on save for the Gigantosaurus as well. I think my prediction of around 87 is looking decent at the moment. It's stomped now. T-Rex is actually starting to struggle a little bit against these rainbows. Let's use a UCAV to help out. The rest of this round should be easy. Does it even one-shot the fortified mob insides? Let's see. Yeah, it does. Okay. And here's a ZOMG. We can move the T-Rex into this location. Start damaging this guy a little bit early. Let's stomp. And then move it back into the middle. Stomp again. Should be clean up. There we go. And now we've got super ceramics to deal with, which I'm pretty sure the T-Rex one-shots regular super ceramics, but it does not one-shot fortified. Let's see. It looks like it's one-shotting regular at the moment. Oh, well, sometimes it's not really. I'm not sure. Let's stomp anyways. Round 81 is looking to be pretty easy. I'll save my 18 abilities till I desperately need them. Let's stomp at the top. The T-Rex stomp is just so strong. I could honestly afford this guy before round 87. We're only like 15k away now. Making money pretty quick. Let's stomp these Moabs, just like that. I think the main round we're going to need to worry about is 85. Defending ZOMGs with a T-Rex is never easy. You lack that single target damage low-key. Might have been a bad idea to use my UCAV there. Let's see how I look. I'm curious, if I have the T-Rex in like this spot, even though it looks like the line of sight's blocked, I've got a feeling maybe it can chomp the ZOMGs. Okay, it definitely can't. That would have been cool if it could. We'll move you here then. Let's teleport back to this location. Maybe another stomp. We're gonna use UCAV ability when they pop now. Alright, defend. We're good against the first one. I have a stomp available. We're gonna stomp the Moabs. Oh, that's easy. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna afford it on round 86, so my prediction was probably one round off. The master predictor Ryan Mahalik might have been wrong. Well, actually, wait. You don't make that much money from round 86. This round's not really a big money round. There's a chance. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make enough money. My prediction was correct. Now, this could be a little bit difficult, making enough money getting this guy before I die, because I'm pretty sure I won't defend round 87 entirely with the T-Rex. 4 ZOMGs is harder than 2, and they are healthier and faster due to the ramping. All right, I'm just gonna spam the upgrade button. Now, oh, we got it. Let's go. And look at the, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. It just chomped the BFB to nothing. Let's move it up here. Yeah, I wonder, is it strong enough to chomp a ZOMG to nothing? Maybe not at 84 power? Oh, it is. Well, it chomped the ZOMGs to blue balloons. What the heck? I've never seen that before. Now, I know what you guys want to see. You want to see a max power Gigantosaurus, which I will be getting max power, but not yet. I think what I want to do is first see if 84 out of 132 power can just solo the rest of 100 rounds of Chimps, and then we're going to be pushing this to 140 rounds, and we will see the max power at that point. But if I got max power right now, it would hurt my cash spare, and I'd like to see how much cash spare I could just beat 100 rounds of Chimps with for the Gigantosaurus. Now, the thing is, even though this can layer skip like crazy, They did nerf its Pierce recently, which makes me low-key worry about some rounds like this. Round 95 is never easy. I'm gonna try to wait as long as possible before I use the Stomp. We are slowly actually falling behind. Well, maybe not. We are dealing with the blimps well on this bend. That's what I was saying. This map is really good for the Gigantosaurus. Those bends in the middle work out well. Let's stomp the fortified ZOMGs. Okay, we can't layer skip the fortified ZOMGs to nothing, unfortunately. That would have been cool if we could. And here's the big bad round 98. I don't think it's going to be any problem for us. Yeah, it just one-shots the entire round, basically. It also one-shots fortified DTs. That's crazy. Stomp. Oh, wait. That Stomp was bad. I thought the Stomp would layer skip as well, but what actually happened is the Stomp just popped all the Moabs into ceramics. This time we defended them. I used UCAV to help out. But yeah, that's interesting. Either way, the BAD. Single target's not necessarily this guy's forte, but it's just so strong to begin with. I think we'll be completely fine against the BAD. Let's move you down here. There you go. Chimps mode has been beaten with 54.9k spare. Let's go to the free play. You could definitely push that past 55k, especially if I cut this random glue gunner, for example. But I'll take it at the end of the day. Either way. As for getting more things to merge, we do want to get this guy to max power, so let's get some more beast handlers in here. Just a bunch of velociraptors. I'm pretty sure the velociraptor is the most efficient middle path beast to merge, as far as like price to power is concerned. 116. 132 out of 132. Okay, let's see how we look against round 102. Oh yeah. Now we can still buff this guy even more. We still have that engineer from round 6 that I started with, but look at this. We are struggling a little bit against ceramics. That's interesting. Again, I think that's the Pierce problem I was talking about, where they reduced this guy's Pierce. And I actually died, but I'll probably have to micro it. Let's go here. Okay, we're surviving this time. Lucky for me, these mobs aren't popping into ceramics. That would make things really difficult. If anything, that is this guy's weakness, though, ceramics, which is kind of weird. It's not what you'd think would be a weak point. Yeah, round 105 also gets me. Let's use UCAV ability. And then we can just stomp the fortified ceramic wave. There you go. That makes it pretty easy. It still one-shots the fortified ETs, which is huge. We can stomp if I need to. Looks like the attack speed is quick enough to keep up as well. I think I will end up buying Ultra Boost, but let's first just see how long we can survive with the Gigantosaurus. No Ultra Boost or anything. You know what I'm saying? It's weird to think, but ZOMGs are almost the easiest rush to defend. DDTs and ceramics are a lot more scary. And one other interesting part about the update that NinjaKiwi changed was Freeplay, believe it or not, as they increased the money you make from rounds 120 to 140. As it used to be at 2% cash generation compared to like the first couple rounds, how much cash per pop you'd make, but now it's at 5%. And I did end up doing the math. The change basically means you'll make an extra 60k from rounds 120 to 140, which is interesting. Now, NinjaKiwi's reasoning behind this was to help boss events, like make more money in the last 20 rounds of a boss event, which kind of makes sense. But the thing about that is 60k is not really going to change much in a boss event, especially if the 60k is coming at the very end. And since the money's after around 120 passes, that's when the tier 5 boss is already going to be out anyways. So I really don't think it's going to change much in boss events. It's mainly going to change things for these round 140 Chimps challenges. Either way, we're still defending. I've got 138,000 saved up. Saving up this much on an advanced map on round 115. The Gigantosaurus is nuts. And we can probably save up even more. If I were to guess which round we eventually die against, it's probably round 119, because I don't think we can defend the 3 BADs with our current setup. Actually, wait, round 117 might get me. DDTs are pretty scary. We'll use a Stomp right away, and we are completely dead. Well, on the bright side, saving up 153k is pretty solid, but now we're going to spend a lot of it. Let's get an Ultra Boost up. And actually, Ultra Boost might not even save me here because I don't have time to get an Ultra Boost activated. So how about we just go back one round and we'll get the Ultra Boost on this round. Can I survive long enough though? Stomp. Ultra Boost. There we go. Extra 67% attack speed. You know what I'm saying? That should handle though. And it does. With the Ultra Boost, I assume we're good enough against these blimps. But without it, things could have been pretty scary. We're going to stomp the insides. You get a lot of extra damage against stun stuff as well. So we should be able to clean up those ZOMGs pretty quickly, yeah. First one goes down. Second one. Takes a little bit longer, but we're good. Third and final BAD. Come on. Stomp once again. Now. Easy work. Now, I think this setup with the Ultra Boost is probably enough to defend every single round. Besides round 140, I think we'll still need to get something else against the fortified BAD. On the bright side though, the fortified BD is going to be taking this path, which will give me more time because all of the even number rounds take the right hand path. Is it worth for me to Ultra Boost Etienne? We can probably do that a little bit. You can see fortified ETs do give me a tiny bit of issues. At Stomp now, there's some ceramics coming out, which are scary. Let's use UCAV. We're still strong enough to handle these fortified ETs though. There you go. That does make me worry a bit about round 138, however, which is a huge DT round. So it might be a roadblock between us and round 140 as well. There's a chance. I wonder how much damage we do with one stomp. Let's try it now. Okay, that actually wasn't as much damage as I'd like, but they did increase the stomp's stun duration, which is nice. So it did stun those ZOMGs quite a long time. And round 131 should get defended here. Here's round 138 though. This was the main round I was worried about. On the bright side, it still only takes 2 shots for the Gigantosaurus to pop these fortified ETs. So I'm hoping... Actually, wait, it might take 3 shots. Let's use UCAV here. As I said, I'm hoping it can keep up. It looks like it is at the moment. Oh, I died. Try a different spot. What about this location? UCAV? Okay. We're handling. Wait to stun until I need it. Stun. That might have been bad timing to stun, I'm not sure. I probably should have waited a little bit longer. DTs, wait, we defended. This spot was actually better, and I think the reason why is the impact radius of his chomps is so large. By placing him farther back, the impact radius is slightly farther to the right, which means it hits a greater bend. I probably didn't explain that in the best way, but I'm sure some of you guys got what I was trying to say. And I think we need more defense around 140, but let's see first of all. How do I do against this BAD? We're gonna use the abilities off the start. How much damage does it do per chomp? I can't really tell, a couple thousand probably? There's no way I've got enough damage though. This fortified BD has so much HP. It's kinda close, I've gotta say. We might get last damage stage, yeah. Wait a second, can I stomp the insides? Oh my gosh, nope. So what's the cheapest way I can get the extra damage I need? I think I know. We're gonna have to go back 1 round to do it, is a Grand Saboteur. That'll give me 25% reduction in health when it comes out. You could say, Ryan, you got it to the last damage stage. Wouldn't something like an overdrive or something cheap make the difference? My answer to that is no. Because even the last damage stage still means tens of thousands HP remaining due to the ramping at this point, and I also still need to deal with the insides as well, which I don't need that much track length to deal with the insides because I've got a stun available, but still, we need to pop it quite a bit faster. We're gonna use the Grand Saboteur 1 round earlier though, just so then I've got it active before the BAD comes out. And now, let's try this again. You can see it's already damaged when it comes out. That did 50,000 HP down. Maybe I should have stomped again. I'm waiting to use my stomp against the insides though. Same thing with the UCAV. Let's use UCAV now. Stomp. Yes. We should be chilling. We'll have over 150k spare if this works. Yep. Oh, no! We have 149,000 spare. Oh wait, no, there's a second BD. I forgot about this. So I will have over 150k spare. Thank you. That's kind of cool. 150,000 left over. 140 rounds on advanced chimps is pretty solid. Showing, I've got to say, from the Gigantosaurus. Nicely done, buddy. And we've got 21.9 million on you. Etienne's got about 1 million. Engineer's got 13k. Grand Saboteur's at 50k. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Definitely a fan of the new Gigantosaurus. This is pretty much the only guy that got buffed in the recent update, and I'm here for it because it's pretty insane now. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below as per usual, and make sure to subscribe for more update content to come. I'm Mike out. Peace. Have a good one.